Would we reactivate the Russia theme?
Well, yeah.
We
You have
haven't
to assess
deactivated it.
the upside was significantly more. Don't bother trying to become a political genius. Buy value where you see it, and don't put your eggs in one basket.
Russia, Ukraine. Okay, let's deal with these one by one. Hi, regarding the Russia-Ukraine conflict, if a peace deal were to be reached and sanctions reduced/lifted, would the possibility of a Russia theme be added/brought back? Curious where this is on your radar. Thank you.
Well, it hasn't gone away. We just
can't do anything with them.
We can't do anything. We've got them. So we good old-fashioned buy and hold. Maybe the best thing ever happened to us.
Would the would we reactivate the Russia theme?
Well, yeah. I mean, look, if
We
you have
haven't
to
deactivated it.
yeah, but okay. Okay. The question is, would we buy more? If let's say a trade was allowed in Russian stocks again, we'd have to look at it at the time.
Yeah, we'd have to look at the valuations,
Prices.
because we don't know what does Spurbank come out with? What is Lukoil? We don't know what they're going to trade at, and so only when that is revealed to us can we then make any judgment call.
It's going to be interesting as well, because you would expect that people would be buying.
Well, you'd probably think that they would jump dramatically. Yeah.
On the other hand, you might have people who've been locked up for so long, and then they're, thank God I can get out.
Yeah.
I don't really know what the psychology of the broad market's going to be.
Well, another complication here, folks, is that we can't even see what the valuations are or price history on the Russian exchange, because Bloomberg shut that down now. Within the last 6 months or so. It's like, whatever. Yeah.
All right. What do we think of the impact of a Ukraine ceasefire would be on our themes, specifically energy, shipping tankers, and possibly gold, precious metals? That's from Theo.
It wouldn't have much of an effect. I think the one that we look for would be agricultural stocks, Ukraine agricultural stocks.
Okay. And what are the outlooks for MHPC, which you mentioned last year and alike? Purchased at $3.50 last summer, 66% up as of today. Obviously, peace in Ukraine should boost growth of such stocks. But given where Russia's economy is heading, the exaggerated Western propaganda of Russian willing to take over the countries of Warsaw Pact does not seem that wild anymore, especially if pushed further. That's from Zen Street.
Look, and this is also applies to a few other questions that you'll see later on. Buy value where you see it, and don't bother trying to become a political genius. Now, we go back to MHP. So we bought that mid last year, wasn't it? And we said, look, the upside here far outweighs any downside. You're buying these things, I think at the time was on a P of 3 or less. Likewise with many other Ukrainian agricultural stocks. And we thought, well, look, if it's a stalemate and things go no further, well, we're still going to stock on a P of 3. If there's a resolution to all this stuff, and let's say the borders change to where the front lines are now, plus or minus, well, you've got a stock on a P of 3, and then you get a revaluation of that. So it seemed to us the upside was significantly more. You didn't have to be a political genius. I think people try to get too caught up in being smart-assed here. No disrespect to anyone. It doesn't do you any good to try and get too smart. Buy value, and then don't pull your eggs in one basket. Sure, have 1% or 2 or 3 or 4 in Ukrainian agricultural stocks or whatever, or Russian stocks as it was, or coal miners or offshore oil drillers. So if something really bad happens, then it's no big deal. You lose 1%, lose 2, 3%, fine. That's no big deal. Don't try and get too caught up, because you know, who are we to know political outcomes?